Hi guys, and welcome to a new video on Sonal's Live. Now it is very warm in the UK, but I have decided to come back with a brand new video because it is heating up in New Japan as well. I apologise for that pun. Like I said, it's very warm. So after it was cancelled a few months ago due to COVID, we are finally on the road to Wrestle Grand Slam at the Tokyo Dome. And as expected with any big show, I am back with a preview. I'm going to look through all the matches that have been announced, what you can expect, and my wrong predictions. So let's get going. So the first match is the only one that I really don't have much information at the time of recording. If anything changes before I've uploaded this, I'll write it in the description. But we are starting off with the King of Pro Wrestling Rambo. And as you all know, I love this King of Pro Wrestling trophy. It is actually hilarious. It's given Yano a spotlight and it's just a bit of fun. And as always, this match is just as crazy. Currently there is a poll going on Twitter on whether it should be a blindfold or a handcuff match. Can you imagine how I felt when I saw that? I was like, are we watching wrestling or what is this? But anyway, similarly to the other matches we've had, the blindfold match will be you can only win if the person that you're pinning is blindfolded. And this handcuff one is you can win. As well as pinfall and submission, you can win by handcuffing your opponent to the railings or to the ring posts. I mean, I don't know what to expect from that. We don't know who the participants are going to be. We don't know how many participants they're going to be. We've probably got guys like Suzuki, Kanemaru, the Bullet Club are Evil, Yujiro, Chaos members, Hontai members. It literally could be anybody. And depending on who is in the match, and obviously I can't say it right now, will depend who I want to win. Because yes, I love Yano with this title. Like, it was made for him, probably literally. And he has done so much with it. But I feel like maybe we should change it a bit. It's been a comedy title for so long. Give it to Suzuki, make it like another version of the Never title where basically it's the hardest guys in the company wrestling really strong matches with really strict and like out of the world stipulations, so like submission only matches or lumberjack matches. Anything could happen, and I think it's going to be a nice way to start off. It's going to be a nice undercard match, get the crowd excited, get fans excited watching at home. And as always, you might not like the King of Pro Wrestling trophy, but I personally love it. The first match on the main card is for the IWGP Junior Tag Team Championship, and it is with the newly crowned champions, so Taiji Shimura and El Phantasmo, versus the returning mega coaches in Ryusuke Taguchi and Rocky Romero. It's probably a very random matchup. Literally, Rocky and Taguchi came back for the Summer Struggle Tour. Rocky managed to pin El Phantasmo with a roll-up, and this is how we are here now. I have said it a fair few times about my issues with the junior tag team division, and I wasn't over the moon when the Bullet Club duo won the titles off Roppongi 3K because I thought they were doing a really good job holding the titles and this was going to be their chance to break this curse that they've had. However, if you won a pure heel versus babyface match, putting Ishimori and ELP versus Rocky Romero and Taguchi is probably the best thing you can get. On one side, we've got the extremely talented duo of ELP and Ishimori. ELP, for all of his charisma and sometimes ego, people forget he is an amazing athlete. He is probably the pure epitome of what a junior heavyweight should be. He can flip, he can fly, he can dive, he can walk the rope. And then we've got Ishimori, who is this hybrid athlete. So we saw in his match with El Desperado that he can go to the mat. He can do this very ground-based, strength-based, submission-based offense. But he can also fly, so diving off the top rope, diving over the top rope, diving through the top rope. He can do it all. But as much as like light-hearted and jokey the mega coaches are, they are an amazing team. You've got to remember that Taguchi was part of Apollo 55 with Prince Devitt. They were one of the strongest tag teams. They beat opponents, they put on amazing matches. I think they got nominated for a match of the year with their match against Kota Ibushi and Kenny Omega. And then you've got Rocky Romero. Yes, he's been seen more as a commentator, behind the scenes, backstage guy. But he is the most successful tag team wrestler. He has held a belt multiple times with multiple partners, and between them, nobody knows tag team wrestling or even wrestling in general more than these two, with their years of experience. And you know what? Their personalities are just an added bonus. Honestly, I don't think that they're going to pick up the win, because then that is literally another strike for New Japan on them not giving respect to these titles. But I think it's going to be good, because as sneaky as Bullet Club are, they are not ready for the king of sneaky style in Rocky Romero. And Taguchi, well, that funky weapon is a dangerous thing. And I think the two of them together are a formidable team that, you know what, might just give Bullet Club a run for their money. But yeah, I see El Phantasmo and Ishimori retaining, but it's going to be a nice fun match to start. The second match on the card, it's annoying in a sense that the junior matches are starting off the show and there are matches later on which could have easily gone behind. But we have the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship match between El Desperado and Robbie Eagles. So for anyone who doesn't know the context behind this, after his match with Taiji Ishimori, Desperado was just getting ready to do his final speech, and a VT came on with Robbie Eagles challenging for the title, and he's back in Japan. And I think this is the perfect match. We've had Despi beat Yo, we've had Despi beat Ishimori, now let's try someone new. And really, as long as Robbie has been in New Japan and as a wrestler, he has not really had many shots at this IWGP Junior title. And it's going to be something new, because I've been doing some research, and it will only be the second time the two have met in a singles match. The first one was last December in the Best of Super Junior, but this is a completely different ball game. You've got a much bigger stage, you've got a much bigger stakes with the title. And honestly, I think it's going to be a great match. On one side, you've got Robbie Eagles. Yes, he can fly like the best of them in the division, but his core wrestling style is submission based, ground based, and that is more similar to Despi than people might think. I mean, Desperado has never been one to fly, and he's always enjoyed sort of working a body part of his opponent and wearing them down. And oddly enough, although their personalities are completely different and their ideologies towards wrestling, both of their styles are based on that, based on a more methodical sense of wrestling. And you know what? It's going to be cool, because it is another babyface versus heel match, even though in the past match, Despi actually played the babyface. I personally love Robbie Eagles. Like, I cannot say it enough. He is a veteran in the game. He is so diverse. I just love watching him in the ring. But I love El Desperado. Like, he has had us. I was very worried when he first won the title, because I thought, is it just an interim champion for Hiromu? But with two successful defenses against two very different opponents, he has proven that this is his time. He is deserving of this junior heavyweight title. But really, I think out of most of the matches on the card, this is the one I'm most looking forward to. Like I said, we've not seen it many times before. It's two guys who are just phenomenal athletes. And I think they're really going to showcase to the world, yes, we are junior heavyweights, but we are not those flippy guys that you all assume we are. We can wrestle as well, even better than the heavyweights. We can show you diversity, we can show you skill, we can show you talent. And I really hope that no matter who wins, they really have a good showing for the junior division, because I love it, and I think these two are probably the best people to represent the whole division on such a grand stage as the Tokyo Dome show. So the next match is a special singles match, and like I said before, I was a bit annoyed that this match came after both junior matches, but it is Jeff Cobb versus Kazuchika Okada. Yes, two huge names, two amazing athletes, and really this match is a proving ground for both of them. The past few shows, in terms of the big ones, they've not had much luck. So Jeff Cobb lost to Kota Ibushi, Okada lost to Shingo Takagi, and it just seems like they've both plateaued. And this is sort of going to be one of those matches where, yes, there are no real implications at the time, but going forward, they're going to be watching the main event. They're going to be looking at all these titles that are coming back to Japan slowly, and they're going to want to have their names on the list, especially with G1 season coming up. You want those wins, you want those big high profile wins. But really, I think It's very odd this, because they had their last match in last year's G1 together, but it was completely different circumstances. So Jeff Cobb was still technically a member of Hontai. He was still this happy-go-lucky gachi-muchi. That has definitely changed, and we have seen his wrestling style adapt to this new heel personality. Even Okada, after losing to Shingo, when he was doing the gauntlet with the Young Lions, he had this sort of more determined, less happy Okada. You know, like the Okada with the balloons and the non-champion Okada. It feels like after his taste of maybe getting so close to winning the title again, something switched in his mind. And with two guys who are so determined, but also so athletic, so both of them have got speed, agility, strength. It's just going to be a great match. And yes, I know I grumbled about his place on the card, but really they're two guys who you know they're going to put on a good match. In terms of win and loss, Jeff Cobb needs this win. I said this with his match against Kota Ibushi, but once again, are they going to have Okada lose again? Especially so close to G1. Unless they've got something up their sleeve, this is a must win for Okada, because really, can you have the Rainmaker going this many losses going into one of the biggest tournaments of the year? The fourth match on the card is honestly probably one of my favourite feuds at the moment. It is for the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championship between the champions Tetsuya Naito and Sanada versus Dangerous Tekkers, so Taichi and Zack Sabre Jr. Yes, I am a huge LIJ fan, but I did nearly cry when Dangerous Tekkers lost the titles earlier in the month. And this rematch is gonna be like, I mean, I really don't care who wins, as much as I'd love to see Dangerous Tekkers pick up the titles again. But the four men are literally like, it is pure comedy genius. I've said this on social media, at wrestling_chat if you want to follow me. But we've seen this dynamic between the four guys. So like with GOD, you've got Zack and Sanada, and then Naito and Taichi. But it's also like between them, it's all like mixed up. So for example, whenever Zack wants to get in the ring with Naito, Naito will go to Sanada, because we know Sanada and Zack have this love-hate relationship. So Zack really respects Sanada. He even said when Naito and Sanada were challenging for the titles, get a different partner. I like you. I like your style. But I don't like Naito. It's the same with Taichi. His main strengths have always come battling guys like Naito. They are similar builds, similar style. And I think that's why this rivalry works, because there are two sets of people who are very similar. But also two sets of guys who just like taking the piss. So we know Naito. Like, Naito will prod at the bear, which is probably why a lot of people don't like him. Sanada is very tranquilo in that sense, but even he has the ability to rile people up, especially Zack. With Dangerous Tekkers, they have that wit of Zack, they have that wit of Taichi. And I think when you put these four guys in the ring together, it's not just a wrestling masterclass with four very different yet similar styles combining unpredictability, strength and submission game, but it's also four very big personalities who just make it really fun to watch the tag division. Like, I know I've complained that, oh, technically I should be very upset that Naito and Sanada took the titles because they're lacking consistency, but you know what, if it's going to be anyone, it should be the LIJ duo. And yeah, it's a really nice fresh feud that we've seen. And it's not as serious as it could be, and that's what we need, especially nowadays. In terms of winners, I love Dangerous Tekkers, but for the sake of the title itself, I'd love to see Naito and Sanada carry on this reign, because they're two guys who have not actually teamed together officially in much of a capacity since LIJ started. So it'll be nice to see how this dynamic works. And obviously, Naito's not been in the tag division for years, so it's a bit of freshness for him, and let's see Naito get some of his sparkle back. So the final match is the main event for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship between Shingo Takagi and Kota Ibushi. Now, Kota Ibushi created this title early in the year, but it didn't go very well. So he basically won the title, then lost the title to Ospreay. Then Ospreay had to relinquish the title due to injury, and now Shingo has it. I almost feel like Shingo, by challenging Kota Ibushi, is sort of prodding the bear. He's going, you create this title, but what have you done with it? See if you can beat me. the guy who beat Okada, who is now proudly holding this title. What fans can expect? A hell of a good wrestling match. These are two guys who are in love with the sport, but not only are they in love with it, they are amazing at what they do. You have got Kota Ibushi, who is this unpredictable force in wrestling. He can fly high, he can jump off balconies, but he can also play this tremendous striking game with his kicks and chops sending like blistering sounds across the arena. And then you've got Shingo, who was a junior, which I still want to say who weighed this guy when he said he was going to become a junior heavyweight, who is strong, fast, agile, and has this passion of a dragon. And you know what, if you're going to have two guys main eventing a Tokyo Dome show, these two are amazing. You're going to have technically a babyface versus babyface match. There's going to be no shenanigans. It's going to be a pure wrestling fight, and with the tumultuous history of this title in its few months of conception, that's what it needs. It needs two amazing athletes that crowds love to get behind the title and sort of for fans to say, right, I don't think it's jinxed. It was a good idea, even though it wasn't. And we can make it work. Personally, I love Ibushi, but Shingo, by winning this title, has sort of shown that the years and years of work he's done has finally been worth it. He's got to the top of New Japan. He's worked his way from the bottom, and he's won the biggest prize in the company. Do I see New Japan putting on Ibushi? Maybe. Weirder stuff has happened. But really, if they're smart, if they want to push this title as being one of the top belts in the world, they need consistency. And Shingo has proven that he's a fighting champion, and that honestly, like, he was made for this title. So I personally think it's going to be Shingo, but whatever happens, it is going to be an amazing match, and I'm very excited to see what happens. So that was my quick preview of the Wrestle Grand Slam Tokyo Dome show. Let me know what you think. Are you excited for the show? Which matches are you looking forward to the most? And obviously, are your predictions as wrong as mine? Who do you want to win? Let me know in the comments. Let me know on my social media at wrestling_chat. And please always remember to like, share the video with your friends, and hit that subscribe button. I will see you guys next week. Bye!